let's take a poll. Let's use, well, thank you. So let's use our statistics here as something that can help one for me. Or let me see if I'm able to launch by myself. Okay, thank you. Could you please just help me and fill this polls? It's anonymous anyway, so we're not going to see your name. We just want to take a poll. We want to check within us here what has been going on. So last year, 2023, did you write out your goals? Pick an answer. Did you achieve all the things that you wrote out last year? Pick an answer. Have you written out your goals for 2024? Yes or no? And are you very clear about the purpose of your life? Yes or no? Okay, I'll count down. I mean, it's very simple. So I'll just count from 10 down, count down from 10. And after that, I would love for the admin to please review the results of the poll for us. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, thank you. Could you please review the result of the poll? I hope that we have enough people who have filled the poll.
Can we give 1 more minute for anybody who has not?
Okay, how many people do we have? How many people have filled so far?
We have 26 people, and I think 18 people have filled. 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so people are still filling, basically.
Yeah. So let's give them 1 more minute.
Okay. All right. Okay. I want to believe I'm not the only person seeing this poll. I want to believe that everybody is seeing the poll.
Yes, everybody.
Okay, thank you. So let's look at this together. 75% of those who have filled the poll wrote out goals last year. Very good. So I have at least 75% of the people who are currently in here as people who are deliberate to a large extent. Now, all the goals were achieved in 2023. Of the 75 who wrote out their goals, 20% said yes. And then 80% said no. I have written out my goals for 2024. We have 50-50. I'm very clear about the purpose of my life. We have 90% and who said yes, and 1% said no. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful statistics. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay.
I can't see the poll results. Please, I can't see the poll results.
Oh, okay. But that was what I just read out. I don't know. It's okay. So they returned it to my screen. Let me see. Can you see it now?
Yes, no? I can. Thank you. Yes, I can.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I want to tell you that poll is a very good representation of what happens, of what obtains in the world. In fact, maybe in some areas, not a good representation, because it's really remarkable that 90% are very clear about the purpose of their lives. It's very beautiful. Apart from that question, most of the other questions that we saw is a very good reflection of what happens year in, year out. People start their years living, waking up, going to work, doing things, buying things, eating, playing, having friends, making decisions, changing jobs, doing so many things, going to watch movies without a clear goal set. And yet, almost everybody here has heard before that it's important to set goals. Why do we have that statistics? Okay, let's go on again. I'll be asking a few questions. Please allow me. I'm a life coach, so it works like that for me. We just enjoyed Christmas, and maybe a few people here had wishes for Christmas. I don't know if anybody had a wish for Christmas, or at least hoping that by the time that year was over, something would happen to them. Do we have one or two people here? Yes, 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 on the charts. If you actually had a Christmas wish, if you had a Christmas wish. End of the year, okay, somebody, okay, beautiful. I'm not going to ask you to tell us, but yes, it's true that we make wishes. Now, if you didn't have a Christmas wish, but at some point in your life, you had a wish that something would happen, and the wish actually happened, please say yes, yes. You wished for something, and it happened, and you were like, oh my goodness, beautiful, thank you. Yes, 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 yes. Beautiful. So whether you set goals or not, whether you had your goals written out last year or not, at one point or the other in your life, even if it was for your 10th birthday, you wanted a wristwatch, and then you were just wishing that you would get a wristwatch, it did come your way. So truly, wishes come true. You know, people say that if wishes come true, what's that thing? I forgot again. Something will be horses. But the reality is that, you know,
wishes were horses, beggars would ride.
Would ride, honestly. So that gives us an impression that wishes may not be very easy to ride on. Well, true, but can we say that wishes don't come true? No, we can't say that. Wishes come true. It's the truth. So for those who have not set their goals, the fact that you have not written out your goals does not mean that you don't have a wish. Thank you so much. Yes, you also probably have a wish. You wish for something. We all have wishes. So if I was to do another poll to say, do you have a wish for 2024? I bet with you 100% of the people on the call, including myself, would say yes. So we all have wishes. We all want things to happen in our lives. Now, if this is true that you have ever made a wish, let's shift and then let me ask you, have you ever set goals? Without wasting time, the answer is that yes, some people here have set goals and some may not have set goals. So what's the difference? And why are we looking at setting goals this time? I'm sure you're hearing it left, right, and center. By now, you're probably tired of the fact that people are talking about goal setting, goal setting, goal setting. Why set goals, for goodness sake? There are 1,001 reasons why we should set goals. But I would just like to keep it simple and point out a few things for those who don't set goals, and even to help those who set goals to strengthen them. One is that if you don't set goals, someone else will set goals for your very life. You don't get it. You wake up in the morning, you leave your house and you go to the bus stop without knowing where to go. And then you're hearing, you don't have a destination in mind. And you're hearing, Oshodi, 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 Songota, 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 Songota. While you're trying to make up your mind, the person beside you at the bus stop is going to say, where are you going? Oshodi. Oh, okay. Why are you going there? You've never been to Oshodi. It's a very beautiful place. Blah, blah. You're going to jump on the bus for Oshodi. Somebody else has just helped you set your goal. Why? Because you didn't have one. But if you left the house because you were going to Ibadan and Oshodi bus is passing, you won't board the Oshodi bus because you know exactly where you're going. So you see why we should set goals. Goals are very important. We should set goals. Another thing is, so just like the story I told you, life is a journey. We're going somewhere and we're constantly aiming at something. So really the journey would be more interesting and beautiful if you can make a decision as to where you actually want to go. It's a different ball game if you enter that bus and you find out that's not where you want to go. You have at least made a decision and you are making choices based on that decision. But when you're still like midway, honestly, you're not likely to be aiming at excellence. Apologies to those who are Muslims here. If I knew a Quran verse that I could quote to meet what I would say, I would. But because I'm a Christian and I read Bibles, I would quote from what I read. Just like I would quote from Steve Covey, I would quote from the Bible. The Bible says, unstable as water, you will not excel. So there is something that comes with not being stable, not being sure, not knowing where you want to go, not knowing exactly what you want to do for the year. And that is not being excellent. You want to be excellent, I'm sure about that. Everybody wants to be excellent because we love what comes with excellence. So truly, everyone wants to succeed. But that's another reason why you must set goals. What do I mean by but? If you ask, just like we said, I mean, beggars would ride horses. Anybody would choose to, I'm sure you yourself would probably have said it before, if I was the president of Nigeria, if I were this, if I were that. We all, when we're thinking of our future, we all wish good for ourselves. We all say good things about our future. Ibos will say, oh, Gadimma, it will be well. We all say, tomorrow will be good. So hardly will you hear someone, even at their lowest, who will say, well, tomorrow will not be good. Even if they are thinking it and someone comes to tell them that your tomorrow will not be good, how many people know you will fight? How can someone just look at you? You will say it's a curse. So truly, you must set goals because you want to succeed, but not everybody who wants succeed. That's the but. Everyone wants to succeed. So let's say that success is a destination. Everybody wants to get there, but not everybody got there. So people who have come in generations way before us wanted to succeed, but not all the people in the grave succeeded. Not all the people who died yesterday succeeded. That's why you need to set goals, because you want to at least improve your chances of success. Give yourself room and chance to succeed. So that's why you must set goals. I think these are simple enough and not academic. They're just simple enough to help you see that it's important to set goals. What kind of goals do people set? Most people set goals around what you have on the screen right now. I'm sure that for those who have set goals, at least one of the goals you have set is in here. With COVID now, something else that came onto this graph, that should be on this graph, is that people want to be mentally stable. It's part of being healthier. People, mental health it just skyrocketed post-COVID because people found out that it was easier for those who were not mentally stable and those who had underlying diseases to die at COVID. Whereas many people had COVID, those who were not stable, health-wise, mental-wise, it was easier for them to die. Whereas others came out. But of all these things that we have here, spend more time with family, renovate part of the house, take up a new hobby, pursue career ambition, make more money, exercise more, and all of that. Of all the things that we have here, would you believe that the statistics show that at the end of 2024, average only 8% would have achieved their dreams. 23% of adults quit by the first week of the year. What are we talking about? As at now, which is 7th of January, by now, 23% of the people who lifted up a paper when they were doing watch night service have already given up. They don't know where they kept the paper. 43% of the people have forgotten what they wrote by February. At least they moved a bit more. Then 92% of the remaining who have not forgotten will not follow through on what they have written. And from the results that we saw here today, you see that when we ask the question that, did you achieve your 20 or everything on your 2023 goals? I think that the poll showed us that 25% said no, said yes or something. It was quite low. Most people did not achieve what they set out to do at the beginning of the year. So these are all reasons why you really want to be deliberate. Let me tell you what's going on now, why we have that kind of statistics in place. How come that statistics is existing when everybody wants to? Do you understand? You want to do something. This is what you wish for yourself. But at the end, you wish it every year. You start something at the end of the year. Thank you very much. 20, not 25, 20% achieved. And 80% said no. And I love that honesty. Thank you so much. Thank you for that honesty. So the reality is that 100% want to succeed. And when we talk of goal setting, this is the picture in our minds. What you're looking at is what we really would love. We seem to have this imagination that life is a penalty. And you see that penalty, there's no goalkeeper. That's the mind that drives most of the things that people, that drives people's actions throughout the year. Because people are thinking, I'll just get in front of it, and since there's nobody, I'll just target and score. How many people know, I mean, if you're a football lover like me, you know that it is very possible for a footballer to stand in front, I'm talking of a professional footballer, to stand in front of this and still not hit it. It's very possible. So the chances are still there. There's still that risk. Let's even say that there's nothing that will oppose your goals and the wants and the wishes and desires that you have in your heart. Let's say there's still that chance that you might not hit it. Not to talk of those who actually sit down to plan, who have been practicing every day on how to make sure that they hit on target. So this is what we really think that life is. But in reality, that's not life. Life is not a penalty without a goalkeeper. Life is that there is a goalkeeper, and life is that you have more people against you than for you. And life is that, yes, there are a few people here and there that want to help, but then it's a free kick. It's a free kick. Look at this player, as high as the guy shot to ensure that he can score above the heads of the people whose hands were tied. They close their hands. You know the rule in football now. Their hands are together so that you will not touch the ball. They have to do it like that. Those guys, one of them still stood up, as he jumped up high enough to be able to head that ball away. That is life. So until you wake up and tell yourself that life is not a penalty shoot with no goalkeeper, you might not be very serious, and you might find yourself in the 80% who at the end of the year are not meeting up with their goals. Do you see that there is need for a shift? We definitely do need to shift something in our mind. You agree with me? Say, I need a shift. I need a shift. I want to see it. Or you can just type shift. I'm shifting. 2024, I'm shifting. Type it in the chat group so I would know you're listening to me, and so I would know that you agree so far with what I've been saying. And if you don't, you can ask a question so that we're on the same page before we go on. I need a shift. Is anybody typing? Yes. Okay. You're shifting. Amen. Beautiful shift. You agree. All right. So at least I have beautiful. At least I have a few people who agree with me that we need to shift. We can't continue living our homes and thinking that we're just going to get on the next bus without knowing exactly. You got to take biro and paper and do some design. When God created man, he says that I am creating somebody in my own image. Guess what? God is a creator. He has created creators. So you're supposed to be creating things. And if anything, you definitely do need to create something about your life. How you're going to do the creating is what we'll be talking about today. And I'm not saying you're equal to God, but you do need to do something that God does. So to help us as we go along, I'm going to tell you a few things about my own story and how I came to be like this, because I wasn't always like this. As a matter of fact, in my earlier years, in secondary school, they used to call me Olodo, because I'm sure even if you don't speak Yoruba, you know the meaning of Olodo. Because I wasn't doing quite well in school. And I also believe that I was a dullard anyway. I believed I was a dullard. My first school start result, I had 1 credit in Bible knowledge. My mother was a BK teacher anyway, Bible knowledge teacher. We used to call CRK, Bible knowledge then. So I had 1 credit in Bible knowledge, C5. Every other one, I didn't do well. I had 5 Ps and 2 F9s. F9 in geography, F9 in mathematics. The remaining were P7s and P8s. So I didn't do well. That tells you why. And my parents were teachers, helping people to really do well. They were principals. But I grew up believing that I wasn't brilliant. For many years, I also didn't even understand. I would hear people say, when they ask, what do you want to become in the future? I didn't know. And I used to wonder, what do these people are just saying things, I want to become a doctor. I was never interested in that. I just thought, so the story in my head growing up was, when I grow up, I'll get married at 23, because my grandmother got married at 23 and my mother got married at 23. Me too. When I grow up, I'll go to university. When I finish university, I'll work and then I'll get married at 23. And I was well on the way, because I finished my school start at 14 plus. On the day I wrote my math exam was a day before my 15th birthday. So, I mean, I had all the, it was like, yeah, I was moving forward, going there. But then, as let's say, no ambition in quotes that I was, something happened to me after I turned 40. Of course, the story went on, so many things and all that. But then, yeah, later I got married. I didn't get married at 23. Oh, long story. But I got married sometime after 30. I think I was 31 or something after I got married. And I still really didn't even understand fully what my life purpose was. I didn't until I was 40. So something began to happen to me after I turned 40. A book that had been in our house, my husband was more of a reader, and I never read a book from beginning to the end, as at the time I was 40. Never. How will it happen? Book reading. So my husband had been talking about these 7 habits of highly effective people. So one day I think I picked it up. He tried to really encourage. I picked it up and I read a few pages. The few pages that I read, I saw 1 or 2 things that really, really hit me. One of it was the fact that you have to begin with the end of your life in mind. And when Stephen Covey was talking about that, he actually painted a graphic scenario of where, imagine that you're going somewhere and then you go there and you are the person in the coffin and you are dead. What would you expect them to write on the stone about you? I never thought of that. So once in a while, I did complete the book, of course, but I left it. Once in a while, I would just think, it's true. What do I one day? But before then, I used to say, the people that are using money to oppress others, they should not die. But it's not as though it really sank that one day I will die. Maybe when you're traveling on the road and you see accidents, you think, hey, you are sober for a few seconds and then you change your mind. This is where most of us were. Maybe not most, but some. Because some people, like my elderly brother at 6 already knew what he wanted to do and is living that dream today. He's turning 60 in February, and by age 6, he told my parents that that's what he's going to be. My son at 11 told me that that's what he's going to be, and that's what he's doing now. So there are some people who know, but for some people, they don't know, like I didn't know. Now, having seen that, not long after that, I saw a quote online. And the guy said, let me tell you what hell is. Hell is lying on your deathbed and seeing the person you could have been. Man, that hit me. hell is lying on your deathbed and seeing the person you could have been, meaning that you are now at a place where you are no longer able to make a change. And then you realize that you spent all your life doing things, people have been clapping for you, but then at the end of the day, you're on your deathbed, when you no longer can do anything about it, you are thinking and you're like, I could have done this. I tell you, that quote changed my life. I don't even remember who said it. I don't know if that quote is still online, but it's still with me. Then one day, again, around the same time, I saw the statistics that I showed you about New Year resolution, that only 8% of people, all my life, I had been writing New Year resolutions on newspaper. And as I was looking at the paper, at the statistics, I could see myself in there because of a truth. Many times by the time the year is over, I'll be looking for where the paper is. When they will say, can you tick? Oh, there was a particular year, I think I was 13, that I wrote on my New Year resolution because my mom will force you to write something before that will take a shot and pray. So I wrote on my New Year resolution that I would not tell a lie again. Do you know that by the second day of the year, I had told a lie? Man, of course, I gave up on this not telling a lie of a thing. So that said, again, I now became a business owner. So as I'm telling you, if you would know that all the change in my life is still within the past 10 years that I began to become very deliberate in my life. And I want to tell you that the change, it's like all the years that the cankerworm has eaten, everything has come back together for me. So it's never too late if you can just make your change now. So I joined a group because I started a company in 2014, and I joined a group called Clusters. Clusters was a group that somebody formed for female entrepreneurs. And in the group, she now said that I joined the group December, and when I joined, they just started in November, and she had been telling them, everybody go and do your vision board. By the time I joined, the person that formed the group had said that if you don't have your vision board, you have to submit your vision board. If you don't have your vision board by 26th or so of December, I'm taking you out of the group. And people were submitting vision board. I never had vision board before. What is a vision board? The friend of mine that introduced me to the group, I now spoke with her. Please, what is a vision board? She said, okay. She just gave me an idea and all that, and said, maybe I should read on it on the internet. I went to read on the internet. How am I going to make this? I should use Canva. Canva, okay. I didn't know how to use Canva at the time. So what am I supposed to do? I'm sorry, I didn't even realize that my video wasn't on. I thought, all right, okay. So I should use Canva. How am I going to make that happen? I don't know how to use Canva. And the time was going, the woman said she was going to remove us from the group. And I was loving the fact that I was meeting with other business owners, female as well. So I quickly went to use a Word document, and I got pictures, and I did a vision board. And that was how I found out. Well, before middle of the year, the woman closed the group. But apparently that group was started so that I can become more deliberate about my life. But from 2016 till now, by God's grace, there had not been a year that I lived without being deliberate. Life changed for me. Of course, when I saw that the vision board helped me, I called my family and I told them. 2017, my daughter that was 10 had a vision board. Everybody in the family, we began to do vision boards. Then by 2017, I started to do for other people. This was too good to be real. My life was taking shape. So I began to do free vision boarding on WhatsApp. Oh my goodness, every year, sometimes 600 people in a year, sometimes more than. I would do various batches, and I was finding joy in the fact that people were getting to know about the vision board, and people were at least now doing something with their lives. Although some people who attended the vision board would not leave me, they just wanted me to support them. So I formed a group, a WhatsApp group that I called Doers Tribe, a group that is full of people that I only met from trying to help them. I didn't know them before. Some of them, I have not set my eyes on them till date. I've not set my eyes on some of them because it was only later, I think about 4 years or 5 years after that, people were now saying, let's hang out, let's meet ourselves, that we realized that some people are in Akure, another person in Ilorin, you know, and all that. So how has it been for me? There had been successes, there had been failures, but I want to encourage you that if you were not writing till now, at this stage, I want you to begin to pay attention. If you were doing something, I want you to concentrate now. I have told you my story. Why? So you will know that I am not that person who was born perfect. I am not that person who had it all together. I am that person who had all the challenges that you may have had in terms of achieving something with your life, including not even having a dream. And hearing people say, you don't have a vision, you can never achieve anything. Don't forget all that story. I began to achieve before I had vision, before I could have a vision. So how are you going to make your life count? That's what this is about. Forget the topic. Yes, the topic is goal setting and vision boarding, and you will get things about that. But what I really want to challenge you about this evening is that you should begin to think about it. Are you going to just come to the world, go to primary school, secondary school, get married if possible, if not possible, enjoy your life, make money if possible, at least be able to eat, and then have fun, go to parties, do whatever it is you want to do, and one day die? Is this really what life is all about? As long as you're having fun? There must be something more than that. So let's go on. I've told you my story, but I want you to pay attention right now. I found out when I began to get serious with my life that as much as I was achieving stuff with my vision board, I was moving forward. I was becoming more deliberate. Rate at which things were happening. The same me that would sit down and say, in 5 years, if they ask you, what do you want to be in 5 years' time? I will list all sorts of things that won't happen. The same me I will now have a 5-year plan. And by the time it's 5 years, I have already gone beyond the things that I said. But then I began to find out that beyond achieving all these things, I want to make money, I want to do this, I want to do that, I'm helping people, and I'm happy about it. Beyond all of that, there was something missing. How am I going to locate my purpose in the goals that I'm setting? And all the lessons that I have been able to learn, God took me over and began to teach me, because I sincerely wanted to know. All the lessons that I have learned, it is from there that I would share as much as I can before we close this meeting tonight. That's why I said at this time, please open your heart, because we're getting started now. And now I have spoken about me, and I want to talk about you. Question. Stephen Covey said, begin with the end in mind. How many people on their deathbed are hoping that they have spent more time on Excel, are hoping that they have gotten one more certificate? And please, I am not saying you shouldn't get certifications. There has not been a year since 2006 till now, there has not been a year in my family that we didn't get a certification. Father, mother, son, daughter, it's the norm. We have signed ourselves up to a lifetime of perpetual learning. So I'm not saying don't learn, and I'm not saying don't develop your career. But question, what really matters in life? So let's dare to go to our deathbeds right now. Let's dare to take that exercise. Close your eyes where you are. Now, hope you're not distracted. And then ask yourself, when you are dead, what will they write on your tombstone? Or by the time you die, what would you love to be known for? Forget about whether you know your purpose or you don't know your purpose. What would you love to be known for by the time you die on your deathbed? Nobody wants to die regretting. Yet, more people die regretting than those who don't die regretting. What would you like? So keeping that at the back of your mind, you know, I said we are now talking about you. Keeping that at the back of your mind, I want you to check what you really believe. This is about you now. What do you really believe? Are you on earth by mistake? Even if you don't know your father, your mother was sleeping and somebody raped her and then you came. Thank God for Helen Paul, we hear her story. But even if that is your story, are you a mistake? Are you just here? You're just the result of a man and a woman having fun? Is that all there is about your life? No. Do you believe there is a God in heaven? I want you to check what you believe. And for each of these questions, answer them on your paper. I am not here by chance. Or, just answer what you believe. Be honest with yourself. I actually sometimes think I'm here by chance. Just check your belief. That's what I want this to do. I want you to just check your belief system. There's no correct answer. Just be honest with yourself. Do you believe there is God? And if you believe there is God, do you believe that God created you? If he was the one that created you, do you believe he had a reason for creating you? If there is a reason for creating you, do you think, is it true that you will give account to him? Oh, you go to work every day. And even if you don't go to work, even if it's at home, your accounting, if somebody sends you on errand, you come back to give account. So truly, if you believe that you have been sent on errand to the world, do you think that you will be required to give account? And if you have been sent on errand, is there a timeline? How long have you been given to achieve it? If that timeline is how much time you spend on earth, do you know how long you have? If we really start thinking about these things, we will find out that we don't know. For the vast majority of us here, including myself, we don't know for sure how long we have. We can hope, we can believe for long life, but very few people can tell the exact date that they would die, if there are such people. I don't believe I believe nothing is impossible. So it's possible that some people know, but for me, I don't know yet. And I want to believe that most of the people I've met on earth don't know. So if you don't know how long you have, if 2024 is the last year of your life, these are the things we don't like to think about. But those who died in 2023, not all of them thought they would. If 2024 is the last year that I'm not threatening you here, please. I'm taking you through the things that God took me through to be able to birth me. So if 2024 is your last year on earth, what would you like to be said of you on your deathbed? Are you going towards it yet? If you have reached your 2024 goals, check the 2024 goals that you have set. Are they looking like who you will be or what should be in your mind when you're dying? On my deathbed, my wish is that there will be a smile on my lips and I will be able to say, I did it all. Is it possible? Yes. Oh, but that's my deathbed wish. I want to smile. I want to be smiling. And the thought in my heart, I want it to be, it is finished. Jesus said it. It's not about long life. Jesus died at 33. Do I want to live long? Yes. Am I going to live long? Yes. But in reality, when you are going, will you be able to say it is finished? That is what counts. That is what counts. With that, and all these things that we have written now, I want us to keep going on. You have to be brutally honest with yourself. You see, these are the sentences that changed my life. If you ask me, wake me up in the middle of the night and ask me, what are your values? The number one thing that will pop out of my mouth is truthfulness. I will say the truth first to myself and then to others, even if it hurts. That is my value. The first and most important value in my life. I will say the truth first to myself and then to others, even if it hurts. So trust me, everything I'm saying to you here is as it is, as far as I believe it. So you need to get to that place where you're going to be honest with yourself. Pull away from all the fairy parties and whatever of New Year. We have now entered the New Year. You are here now. Pull yourself away and actually sit down. Forget what pastor told you in church. Sit down between you and your God and be honest with yourself. These things that I have written here are 4 critical things you must not forget before you set your goals. You must remember and you must realize, if you have not known it, that life is not all about you. Life is not all about you. You were made for a reason. You have a purpose on earth. You may not have seen it, and it's not a sin if you have not seen it. Don't worry. God is more interested in showing you than even you want to know. So don't hit yourself on the leg and say, because I don't know my dream, that's why I'm not setting goals. No. But there are things you should be doing, and I'll let you in onto it as we go on. Life is not all about you. Second, if you really want true joy and satisfaction, life is in knowing your purpose and fulfilling it. That is, and that purpose, apparently, this second one, that purpose, what I should have written there is that real satisfaction is about what you are able to achieve in the life of other people. The impact that your life is able to make. When I woke up January 1 this year, God gave me a model. I'm still working on putting it together. We release it to the world. GPI model. I'm going to release it to the world. The 3 critical things is only one, but you can write it in 3. That's very simple anywhere you are in the world. That will always keep your head straight. I'm still working on it. Otherwise, I would have revealed it to you. So honestly, that is where life is all about. It's not really about you. I have eaten today. I have not eaten today. This year, I just written. When you have written that you want to make $1 million this year, why? What for? These are the reasons hidden behind why people don't achieve their goals. Because if you don't set it right, it's like building a house. The foundation's got to be solid. There are people who build homes on water, and that house lasted more than people who built homes on the rock, because the foundation will go right. It's not strong. So foundation is really important. If you need to set all these things right and then set your goals in March, it doesn't matter. It's okay. I took a vision board session August, about 5 years ago now, for some life coaches. I met one of them in December, and she told me that, can I believe that the goal she set in August was for her to have 5 million in her account by the end of December. I met her in the first week of December, and she already had 3 million. When she set the goal, she didn't have a job. She was looking for a job. So don't be in that mindset of, hey, let me just write something. Don't just write something. Leave the people who are just writing something. Get it right and write what matters. And then run with what matters. Now, best way, the third thing is that the best way to get to your purpose is working with the owner of the vision. You see, sometimes some people tell me, hey, do this, do that. I mean, I listen to people. I love advice because I give it to, and I love to get people's opinion. But in certain areas, I just won't change because my vision is God-given. So how many people know that since God gave the vision, I have to follow the person that gave me the vision? It's like you have a job description and you're HR manager in your office. And then you go to work, you say, no, I know that my title is HR manager, but today I'm working in the IT department. From today on, I'm going to be in charge of networking in this office. I will be taking care of everything that has to do with websites. You are not skilled for it, but you're running towards it. You may not be as successful as you would. So it's very important that you work with the person who sent you on errand on his terms. It should be on his terms. Whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, it should be on the terms of the person who sent you on errand. So if you believe that God sent you here and there is a reason God sent you here, then you should be living your every single day until he shows you this is what you should be doing. You should be living your every single day on his terms. And I'm not going to say more than that because I believe you know what I'm talking about. Find your way to ensure that you make peace with your God. Life is a gift. That is 24/7. Everybody gets 24 hours every day. It's a gift. That we're talking here today is because we've been gifted. And if you have a few seconds more, it's because God has given us the gift. And if you have a gift that you treasure, there's a way you use it. You won't spend it all the time wasting it on things that shouldn't be. So with what I have said, I want you to locate yourself. Can you please pull the second poll up? Sorry, put the other poll up. That's the locate yourself. I missed the second one, but it's okay. Please launch the locating yourself poll. Has it been launched?
On it.
Okay, thank you. So with this poll, I just want you to be honest with yourself. Like I said the other time, we're not seeing your names, so just say the truth. Okay, so please just speak it. It's just one question. Where are you? Where are you on this? Now that you know that you can't just set goals the way you like, you should set goals with the person who sent you on errand. You should set goals knowing that life is not all about you. Where are you? Somebody can't see the poll. I hope others are feeling.
But others can see, yes. Others
Okay,
are
okay,
feeling.
okay. All right.
People are still feeling. Please, let's make it snappy.
2 people are not saying. Wow, the 3rd person now. Wow, 4th person.
I think only 23 people can see, and that's funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe the people who were here at start.
It's not supposed to. So it has graduated to
It's not
24
supposed to
now.
be like that.
Mm.
Mm.
Apologies,
Okay,
guys. I think it is a
apologies.
technical issue.
We'll probably just make do with the ones we have seen. Okay, but essentially, maybe we can ask the questions here. Yes, it was just one question. That's it. Yes, Davida, you saw it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. It was just one question. That's the poll. Correct. Yes, yes. That's it.
Okay, 25 now.
Okay. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go. That's fine. It's very simple. It's a simple thing. I just want you to locate yourself and be honest with yourself. Where are you right now? So 44 people who don't have, the question is, locate yourself. I have not written my goals yet. Is that where you are? Or you think you need to adjust your goals right now? Or you're sure on track? And I'm happy we have 24% are on track. 44% have not written their goals, which is good. Then you think you need to adjust your goals, 32%. So in total, we have 76% who will probably be doing either a review or starting afresh based on this. And I really want you where you are right now. Even those who are on track, you can just communicate with your God and say, God, please help me. Help me to always get it right. I want to, 2024 must be different for me. So just pray. I'll go on, but I mean, that's just for you to just pray. Pray, carry God along, go along with God, whichever way you want to say it. So, but before we move on to goal setting right now, once you have sorted those basic things and you are setting your goals from that understanding that this life is not your own, you are running, you are supposed to be here on assignment. Once you are coming from that angle, if you don't know your purpose, how are you supposed to now set goals? Does that mean because you don't know why you're on earth, then you can't even set goals yet? I don't think so. So people ask me that question, and I answer it by saying, what happened to me when I found my purpose was that I realized that I had been fulfilling purpose for several years before I discovered what the purpose is. God is a very good businessman. When he invests in people, he will make sure that situations of life, experiences of life, the things that happen around and to them, give them the opportunity to be able to live in their purpose, whether they know it or not. So what are you supposed to do? Whatsoever the principle that will help you is this: whatsoever your hands find to do, do it with all your might. Make up your mind that everything you are doing and every situation where you are right now, you will always stand for excellence. Yank mediocrity off your life from this day onward. That's the way to go. So if you have that at the back of your mind, you know that you are here to fulfill a purpose. You have not discovered it yet. Look at your life right now. What are the things you are doing? Even if you are looking for a job, you are living somewhere. Are you living with your auntie, your uncle? That's somewhere that you are living in that place. Be there and excellently impact that family. Make an impact there. If you need to submit your CV somewhere, make sure you have done your best. Don't submit CVs with your first name is written with small letter. You know, if your English, God will send people to tell you that there's something up with your English. You will find out that there's something, all of those things that they're pointing your attention to make a change. As in, you will read up, fill yourself with knowledge, make yourself a better person. The post I sent to welcome people on my Instagram page this year, I wrote there that you should keep your eyes not just on the things you are written and want to achieve, keep your eyes on who you are becoming. So that's what you should do. Who should you become until you are sure of your purpose and you know exactly what you're supposed to write in terms of goals, the goals that do that. And it's okay to dream too. You can have a dream. Don't dream small, dream big and write it down and use all this goal setting to do it. By all means, as you are moving ahead, you will learn your lessons just like I learned mine, and you will then be able to also help other people. So that with that now, I'm hitting into goal setting. Goal setting, what is the goal setting? Goal setting is a wish. It's a New Year resolution. It's everything plus action, practical action plans. But until you put a plan, it's a wish. How do we know that you wish for something? Desire is only proven by pursuit. That is, the evidence that you desire something is in your pursuit. I read about 3 T's almost 10 years ago now. And the guy talked about talent, treasure, and what was the third one? Talent, treasure, and treasure is money. Time, how could I forget time? Time, talent, and treasure. And the guy said, look, the way you spend your 3 T's will tell me, give me an idea of where your purpose is. If you say you are setting a goal, how you spend your time, how you spend your money or treasure, and how you spend your talents, your gifts, will be a pointer to it. So it's a goal when you begin to align everything about your life to meet it. So what is a goal? Simply, it's a vision for the future. And that definition is Jim Rohn's definition. He said it's a vision for the future. So that means if your goal is to eat a bar this afternoon, you don't have a goal. A vision for the future. Now, this vision for the future, Jim Rohn says that there are 2 ways to face the future. You can face the future with apprehension or with anticipation. If you have written your goals and you are afraid, you're not even sure if you're going to achieve your goals, apprehension is somewhere. But if you have written your goals and your feet are running, it's like there's a drive, there's a spring. I'm shaking and the table is shaking too. I'm like, as I'm talking, I see your feet, there's a spring. Something is springing on your feet. You want to run towards it. You can't wait to achieve them. They look big. They scare you sometimes, but you are happy to run after it. That's anticipation. So you're either facing the goals you want to set with anticipation or with apprehension. What then is goal setting? When you have decided your vision for the future can be 2024, which is what we're talking about right now, and you can use the same principles to set for 2034 or 2054. So what then, how do you now say that you are setting goals? Setting goals is deliberate and careful planning towards achieving that goal. So if you just carried your Bible and you wrote number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and you say that you have set your goals, my brother, you have not done anything. My sister, you have a list. You have not set your goals. You may have goals, but you have not set them. The setting part is going to involve you. It's going to evolve. It's like you say I want to mark my 30th birthday, and you write it on a list, and it's a goal. No, you need to plan, guest list, which food, how much I'm going to need, this and that. That's now you are setting the goal. Even on the football pitch, you can't say you want to do penalty and you just stand from anywhere. No, you have to carry that ball like this and set it in a particular place. And if you pick before they blow the horn, they won't count it. And if there's a way you will kick, if the footballer says move the way, they won't count. There are rules guiding these things. So you need to set yourself and set the goals, and everything should align. So that's what we want to do here. Do you understand this concept? I understand the concept, say yes. Say yes. I want to see it on the chat box just to be sure that I'm not talking to myself and to be sure that people are following me. Do you understand this concept? Okay. So we can move forward. Okay. All right. Thank you. So we're going to move forward then. Thank you. So that's what goal setting is. It will involve you, your body, your mind, your every part of you, spirit, soul, and body, every part of you. That's goal setting. That word set. You know now that sets, there's action. When you want something to set, it involves action now. Even ordinary flask. I have a flask in front of me here. See, if I want to close this flask, if I don't set it, you know it won't close well now. So I have to ensure that it is set. Well, good. Then I can turn and close. There you are. Setting. You can't talk about setting without it involving you. So if what you had written down and you told me that you have your 2024 goal set already, if it is just a list, then join yourself with a group of people that have not set goals. I'm sure if we do that poll again, now we're likely to have less people who will say that they have set their goals. So let's talk a bit more on this. So how do you now set goals if they're going to be effective? Number one, you need to define what success is for you. Hey, don't just watch what everybody is doing. Say you see somebody's goal. Somebody said something in a training you went. Me too, I like that thing. No. Me too, I want to have CIPM this year. There's nothing wrong with it. I have my own and I encourage people to do. This is what I want to achieve, this certification this year. But please, is it aligned with your life purpose? Is it aligned with why you are on earth? Is it aligned with the desires, innate desires of your heart that God put there? Or you just want to because people are setting a goal because others are doing it? It's not an effective goal setting method. So you need to first define what success is for you. For you, what will you do 24/7 and you will be happy about it? You will feel fulfilled. That's likely an inlet into what your purpose is. And you can do a lot. This evening is not a session to define purpose. I would have gone into that, but please define your purpose and define your success in your purpose. That's what's going to determine the type of friends you choose this year. That's what's going to determine how long you're going to spend on the internet this year, on social media this year. That's what's going to determine how you react to what people say about you, whether they're laughing at you or playing with you or making you angry. If you don't get this step right, your goal setting might not be effective. I promise you. Some of these things that I'm going to be saying, you may not be able to understand them, but I'm telling you the truth from lessons of life that I have gotten. Now, after defining it, that this for me will be success at the end of 2024, you must want it bad. Many times, we just say, because our parents, we grew up learning, I want to, and we just think it's just about saying it. They have told you that if you just keep doing affirmation, that's it. Well, I think there must be some part of you that sincerely desires it. How do you know if you truly desire something? Check yourself and be honest with yourself. If you sincerely desire something, your life, your words, your actions will be pointing in that direction most of the time. So it's better you are honest with yourself that I want this thing, but I'm not really desiring it so much. It's better you tell yourself the truth inside. But it's something I should do. It's something I should have. Then build the desire in that line so that you can anticipate. Your life will go there. Everything. There must be something that will motivate you there. And of course, usually when you find purpose, motivation almost comes naturally with it. Then set SMART goals, because we've seen people who sincerely desire, but they set the goals like careless people. You know what SMART is. If you do not know what SMART is, please, capital SMART. My friend even made her own smarter, ER, the back of it. Specific, measurable. I mean, we've all done these things though. Measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. I don't want to spend a long time here, but you see this thing, if you don't know what SMART goals are, write that down. First assignment, go and research, how do I set SMART goals? I will speak a bit about them as I'm going on, but I won't sit there and be doing SMA, because there are things that are more important. There are people who set SMART goals and they still don't achieve it. So I want to camp on those things that will actually make it work for you. I hope that's okay. Now, the next thing is for your goal setting to be effective, you've got to be deliberate, man. You've got to keep remembering that life is not a penalty without a goalkeeper. Life is a free kick. There are things that you have not planned that will happen within the year that you have planned. Let me say that again. You have planned your 2024, but there are things that you have not planned that will happen. I'm not cursing you. I'm just saying it as it is. Now, if you realize that at the beginning, it would help you position yourself better to be able to decide if those things will take you away from your goal, or if they're going to keep your eyes focused and on the goal. So how do you run with your goal? Write the vision and make it plain. I say this everywhere. And I found out that even people who've been setting goals for years, some of them, they hear it from me. And I'm wondering, I'm like, God, I didn't realize that when God was showing me this thing, I didn't realize it was something that was not common that he was showing me. You see that scripture, write the vision and make it plain. People think it's just about write the vision. Yes, writing is very important. 10 things you must do, write up to 10. But what happens is that when you take a biro and a pen, a paper and biro, and you write, in the process of writing, it becomes plain. I hope you understand what I have said. It's not just that, okay, you have written it and now it's clear. You may not even be clear about what you want to do. It is foggy. It is just somehow gray. That's the best time to start writing. Don't wait for clarity. It becoming plain is hidden inside you writing. Do you understand it now? If you understand what I'm saying, say yes. If not, say no. I'll say it in another way. Tell me, should I say it again in another way, or I get it? You get it, or say it again. And I would say it again for you, please. Okay? Okay. All right, I'll say it in another way. Thank you. Another way that I'm going to say it. Thank you. I know that a lot of people have gotten, but for this 1%, let me say it in another way. I don't know if for people who have dreams, you may have had a dream, you don't understand the dream, but you want to write it down. When as you are writing that dream down, it becomes clearer to you. What I'm saying is that the process of writing is a miracle that God has put in our hands that we don't use. Writing itself is a miracle. There is a miracle with writing. That's why, look, I was a personal assistant for 20 years. And I really, with all sense of humility, I was a good PA. I would type, till date, I type very fast. All the people who have worked with me, I have not seen anybody that types as fast as I do. And I don't have to look because, I was a professional PA. But do you know that as much as I type, I still from time to time, I carry my biro to write. The same thing when you are typing too. Have you tried to write a letter? When you are writing a letter, you'll be like, go click, and write it in another way. And you are changing it until That is because the process of writing brings clarity. That's the point. So if your goal for 2024 is still on your head, you are not deliberate at all. You are not ready. You are not ready. It's not going to be effective. So don't overlook, don't underrate. Many people have gone to their grave not achieving their goals, not because they are bad people, not because they don't want to, but because they stayed in the place of wanting and did not cross over to the place of writing. Right, and right. I attended a conference of female entrepreneurs in Sheraton 2018 that was organized by NECA. They invited one woman, the owner of a school, very popular school. The school is in Agidigbi like this. I've forgotten, a very big school in off Acme. I forgot, anyway, I can't remember the name. The woman, when they asked her to talk, she said, a lot of people have spoken beforehand, time was going. She said, look, don't worry, I only brought 10 points for you. Point 1, right. Point 2, right. She was talking to us, business owners. And point 1 to 10, how many people know that by the time she got to point 4, we joined her? Right. And she told us that we are looking at that school today. And that this school, they already have a university that they are building, they are putting together. And that this school is started from right. Listen to me, writing is a miracle that you are missing out of if you want to set effective goals. So saying all of that, okay, here's Paul 2. Okay, apparently, okay, well, please, don't worry, let's jump Paul 2. Please, let's jump it. But let's jump it. I think from what I've done, I've gotten a lot of the things that I need for Paul 2. Don't bother about it. So what I have said last is that you have to be deliberate. And part of being deliberate is writing. So how do you become deliberate? How do you become deliberate? There are so many ways. And of course, I won't be able to share. I don't even know them all. So, but I won't also, even the ones I know more than one, but I won't be able to share everything in this session. But becoming deliberate, we're going to be using a tool, and that tool is the vision board. How did I arrange this thing? Okay, all right. Well, so vision board, I thought this was, so what is a vision board? A vision board is simple. A collage of pictures, like, you know, those things that we do in primary school. You join this one, join this one, join this one, join this one on one page. A collage of pictures. You put a picture here, put another picture, pictures and possibly affirmations that will depict the future you have in mind.
Coach, can we project the poll? Let's project the poll.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead then. I was looking at time. So let's go. Let's go. We have about 30 minutes, and I was hoping that people will be able to ask questions. But all right, quickly bring the poll up then. Okay. Okay. I hope people are feeling. Let me also feel.
We have 28 out of 40. Please make it fast. 1 more minute. Okay, rounding up now.
All right. Okay. Please project it since we have. All right, thank you. Okay, most people know what a vision board is, but the truth is that some people don't know what a vision board. And that's 74%. I also chose yes, so it might not be very accurate, but at least most people do. I made a vision board. Aha, there we are. Thank you for making us feel this. Because I also chose yes for number 2, and we have 23%. I can imagine that if I didn't choose it, it would have been less than that. Now, we have more people who know about the vision board, but they didn't make vision board in 2023. And I'm wondering why. More people believe that it's a tool than the people who have made. So that means we have in the house people who know that it's big, but they have not filled, they have not done it. So we know, but we have not filled. But we have people who don't know. Now, we have that 3% who don't think that it's a powerful tool. Then, do you want to know what makes it work? I chose no. So maybe one other person chose no. And then most people would like to know. So let's go ahead. Unfortunately, we may not be able to make it here. But you see, for me, one of the things that helped me most in my life is that when I go for trainings, I use that action pen, I write the things that I need to go and do, and then I go back to do it. It is in the place of you doing it by your own self that you actually learn. It is he that walks that learns, not the pumping it into your head. No, it is when you begin to do that you learn. So let's go from that angle and see how much we can take. So what is it? Quickly, for the purpose of those who don't know, I told you that I was told to go and read about it online. So ideally, go and read about it online. But essentially, it's a collage of pictures that depicts your future, the future that you have put together in your goals that you have written. So it's like we're saying, carry your goals and turn your goals into picture. That's what a vision board is. So what does it do for your goals? It helps put your vision in your eyes. Listen, your mind is where it all starts. Whether you like it or yes, a lot of things have been written in your mind. Growing up, you were born to a large extent blank. And I say that from the angle of the fact, not that you don't have DNA, you don't have genes. We have genes that gives us predispositions into things that we do, but blank in the sense that you didn't have ideas as to the kind of food you want to eat, you didn't know anything about who you wanted to be when you were in your mother's womb. By the time you were born, you didn't know many of these things yet. I tell people that if you give me a Chinese baby boy, coming out from his mother's womb, and they gave it to me and the mother disappears, by the time that boy is 20 in my house, he'll be eating amala and ewedu. He will not know how to use chopsticks. And he will speak Yoruba. He probably may not be able to speak Chinese as well. So what am I talking about? What does it do for you? It helps you translate your goals into one pager of pictures. And I tell you, pictures are powerful. How does it work? Let me tell you how it works. God is the origin. These are the lessons that I now learned as I began to do. And I'm sure that when you begin to do, you will also learn some other lessons, some that I don't know. But you need to get into action. What I began to find out is that, I started asking myself, this vision board of a thing. The more I was going into it, I started saying things about law of attraction, that you attract what you focus on. I read more and more, and I agree to that, because if you're a hairdresser, when you see somebody, you are likely to see the hair that person has on their head first. Two of us will pass, and you will tell me, did I notice the hair? And I'm like, really? No, I didn't. But you would, because you focus on hairdressing. So when you see people, you see that about them quickly. So if you focus on anything, it's likely that it becomes to come to you. But as I read more, I found out that there is something that is not aligning with my values and with my scriptures, with the Bible that I have been reading, in the way people talk about law of attraction. They will tell you that in the law of attraction, what you focus on, you attract to yourself. And they would say that the universe will bring the things you have focusing on to you. You just keep your focus, and then the universe. The more I read about these things, the more I discovered that the devil is trying to replace the word God with universe. Now, that doesn't align with me. So I yank it off. But then I began to, when I say something missing, I began to say, but this vision board is really practical. So one day, so I had that, I was really wondering, what is it about this vision board? It's working for me, it's helping me. But I know it is not that the universe is bringing something. Until one day I was reading the Bible and God opened my eyes. From the moment God showed me the first vision board in the Bible, I now began to see it everywhere in the Bible. And that was when I began to change and put solid structure to vision boarding. Who knows the first vision board in the Bible? Time will not permit us for me to say you should write it. But quickly, the first time I saw it, as in for human, no, because even God himself, he said, let us make man. And he described how it to be. Now, Abraham, God said to Abraham, before Abraham, there was Noah. There are vision boards. But the one that really hit me strongly was that one of Abraham. This guy didn't have a child, and he really wanted a child. And God said to him, Abraham, they were talking, and Abraham was like, God, leave that matter. You've been saying this thing every time. You will reward me. What will you give me? I'm going childless. He's a servant's child that is becoming my heir. I'm dying. I will soon die. And he's only the child of the servant. But you've been saying you will give me my own child. God said, okay, come. God took him. He said, go out of the house. Look up. What do you see? Do you see stars? Oh yeah, assignments, begin to count. Abraham said, I can't finish this count. You can't? That's the number of your children. You that you're asking for only one child. You are dreaming too small. Your children, your eyes will not see all of them, just like you are not able to see all of these things. Do you know what happened? I believe I was not there. But you two, you were not there, so you can't disprove me. But I strongly believe that from that moment, every day, Abraham will come out of his house and sit down under the tree looking at his vision board. That God gave him a picture that depicts his future, the number of children. And as he's looking, he will see some stars are big, some are small, some are tickling. So he every day. How do I know? Because the Bible says that a few days after that, people came to visit him. 3 men came that we know to be angels, went to visit him. Where did they find him? He was outside under the tree looking at the stars. And then it was easier for him to receive the word. And he could tell. So definitely God now he's focusing on this future. Now he is deliberate about his future. He's not just eating and sending servants on errand, which was what he was doing when his wife said, I'm going to go and sleep with a guy. But now he has a sign, he is working. Every day, he must come out and sit there and look at it. That's it. And that was a change for me. And honestly, time will fail me, but almost every book of the Bible will show you vision board everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. So it does help to put it in your eyes. Let me tell you another reason why the vision board really strongly works. If you want to, if you don't strongly believe something, it might be difficult for you to achieve and attain what you really don't believe. How do you get your mind to sincerely believe? What are the gates to your mind? Your eyes are the gates to your mind. Your ears at the gates to your mind. You know that somebody will say something and you begin to think about it. You can cry for 2 days. You can cry and cry because of something that somebody said. You say, every time I remember, I'm crying. Why? That thing has entered the core of your soul. So your ears are gates to your mind. Your eyes, you can see something, and because you have seen it, you are thinking about it. It dominates your thought, and your predominant thought is what you begin to bring to yourself. So your ears, your eyes are gates to your soul. Now, your mouth can join. How? Because the things you say, you also hear. That's how your mouth joins, because as you say, your ears are getting it and bringing it in. So what the vision board does is that when you do your vision board well, you have a picture that can help you visualize and bring what you are believing your future into your soul. So you are using the vision board works in that it uses all those three: your eyes, your ears, your mouth, until it gets into your soul, until you believe it strongly and it begins to affect your feelings. It's very strong. It's very powerful. Very powerful. Ever since I saw that, there hasn't been a vision board that I did not achieve 90%. And as a result, and as a matter of fact, like 2023 vision board, I achieved everything but one. The other one, that one is voice training. And I said I didn't achieve it because really, when I was setting the goal, what I had in mind was that I would enroll in a vision board class. It's not as though I didn't train my voice. I did train my voice, and it was better in the 3 songs that I released last year than the one I released in 2022. But I did not enroll in a voice training class. That's why I said that one, I would take it that I didn't achieve that one. But the truth of the matter is that I always achieve much more than I write on my vision board. Meanwhile, by the time I'm writing, I'm thinking, hey, this vision is big. How am I going to achieve? At the end of the year, I have not only achieved, I have achieved much more. So usually what I always do, and I've not done it this year, is that I will sit down and I will now add the other things that I didn't think I would achieve that God has brought my way. My end of year vision board is always bigger than my start of year vision board. It's powerful. It is powerful, trust me. I'm sure by now you are thinking, how do I make one? Go and read up online. It's very simple, very simple. You can make a soft copy, you can make a hard copy. So in closing, in moving towards the end, somebody said something on the group. Let me see if okay. Yeah, okay. So eyes on your daily habits, please. If you now want your vision board to work, you need to make, these are the things that work for me. Please discover your own. But I'm telling you, these are things that work for me. God brought me to that place where I made the choice that Mary made. When Jesus went to visit Mary and Martha, the Bible said that Mary began to sit at the feet of Jesus. Martha began to cook for him. Which one of them was serving? Both of them were serving. Both of them were serving. Both of them were really serving. However, Jesus said, Mary has chosen the better. Meaning that, you see this food you want to give me, it's a good idea, but it's not what you should be doing now. Because I won't be here always. Sitting at the feet of Jesus, hearing what the heart of Jesus is beating, that's where you start from. If you have agreed that God has a reason for bringing you on earth, that means that there are things that God expects you to achieve in 2024. You need to carry your ears on the chest of Jesus and hear it, and hear his heartbeat. God, what will you have me do? Mary told the people that went to Jesus that he should turn the water to wine, even though it wasn't time for him. Mary told them, whatsoever he says to you, do it. That's where success is. And if you read that story, I read that story recently again, and I was like, oh no, God help me. The people that did the things that Jesus said they should do, they acted like fools, I must tell you. Because the place where he said they should go and fetch water inside, I discovered recently when I was reading that place that the pots were not small pots, so they were big. And Jesus said, fill them to the brim. And what were the pots for? They were ablution pots, pots that were in front for people they want to enter. Before they enter, they will fetch water from there or ablution. Jesus said they should go and they will fetch water from there to clean, to wash their hands and feet, which was the tradition at the time. Jesus said they should go and fetch water there. That means that for their cleansing self, there was no water for their cleansing. And Jesus said, go and first work on cleansing. Go and fill the pot that we walk towards your cleansing. That is, keep your eyes on who you are becoming. Make sure that you are becoming who I want you to be. And your life will no longer be just water, it will be wine. It will be the sweetest wine. So I made the choice that Mary made. I said, I'm going to immerse myself into the word of God. Guess what? My business began to get transformed once I began to do this. And I saw a tool online that helped me to be able to read my Bible every day, despite the hustle and bustle and everything. Within 30 minutes to 40 minutes, if you just spend 30 minutes to 40 minutes every day, by the end of the year, you would have read the whole Bible from start to finish. I saw that tool online. Don Moen told us about it, and I began to use it. My family, the whole family is using it now. Very beautiful. So I began to do that, and it helped me. Visualization. Those things that you have now put, there's a way you must choose the pictures. You have to carefully, honestly, even in choosing the pictures that you're going to use for a vision board, in choosing the pictures, a miracle begins to happen to you. Your heart begins to wake up. Things that you didn't believe that you were scared about, you begin to think, I think this thing is possible. I think I can. The people that are doing it, they don't have to begin to happen in your mind while you are putting the vision board together. So it will, and then every day, every single day, you keep your eyes on the habits. The habits, apart from your linking up with God, which is Mary's choice, to ensure that you are doing the things that God really wants you to do. You are not working on something that they didn't send you, because there's no reward for assignment that you were not sent on. In fact, you are wasting time if you are doing that. So once you make that Mary's choice, then visualization, you are imagining, you are setting your imagination at work, because as you think, so you are. It's scripture and it's so true. So every day you place that vision board in a place where you can see it. One of my children will place her vision board on her wardrobe, and the wardrobe is directly opposite her bed. So as she's waking up like this and she's saying her morning prayers and she's opening her eyes, she's seeing it and she's making affirmations. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. God has given me this assignment. I'm going to do this. She has affirmation. You write out affirmations and you say, don't tell lies with your. That's another area where people may say they will write on their affirmations things that they are not, and they don't believe. So it's like you are telling a lie. It won't work. Your affirmation should be things where you are hoping to be, trusting God to help you be, and how you will get that, but it should be truth and honest. Let me look for an example. I am not lazy. If you find out that I don't procrastinate, if you find out that procrastination has been a problem in your life, and you want to work against it, you now say, I don't procrastinate. Instead of writing, I don't procrastinate, don't do that. You can write, because right now you are still procrastinating. You can write that I consistently improve on doing things that I need to do now immediately. That's the truth. Because you're working on it and you will make it. There's an action inside the affirmation, and it is the truth, as against I don't procrastinate, because after some time you will just leave it. Because after you have written today that I don't procrastinate, when you fail, you'll be like, this thing is not working, Joe. And then you're going to leave it. That's why some people's affirmations don't work, because they don't know how to set it. There is a way to set it. And then you need to have absolute trust in the person who has sent you an assignment, that even when everything is turning upside down and looking like it's not going to work, you still trust him and go on his principles. Don't tell lies, don't cheat, don't bite others, be fair to other people, do all the things, principles that God expects you, and trust him to make it happen, to the extent that you will say, even if he does not save me, I will still serve him. How many people know that God will disappoint you when you do that? All right, so essentially, there are excuses that people give: losing motivation, being too busy, shifting, all of those things. When you do all the things that we have said, that I've said in the past, No, you're going to find out that you'll be saved from them, you know, to a large extent. So these are also things that people say, I don't have time, or I lost motivation, I don't know how to, that's why I didn't achieve, fear of failure and all that. I don't have what it takes. The truth is, if you are really brutally honest with yourself, when we say we don't have time, we all have 24 hours. We say we don't have time because what we are saying we don't have time for is not our priority most of the time. Most of the time. So what you really need is to prioritize and say no to the distractions that have made themselves look like a part of your life. You can save time. One of the ways that God helped me to begin to save time, one period, was that I stopped this bad habit that we grew up with. Every Saturday, you're like, everybody, on Saturday, you sleep on Saturday, now you sleep in on Saturday. God just showed me one day that you don't have time, and you'll be waking up at 10. You don't have time. So I just set my alarm to 4:30 as I have on my work day. And I began to change my mindset. It took a while, but eventually I found out, can you imagine between 4:30 and 10, how much time that I had been wasting so many years ago because I was sleeping Saturday sleep. Hey, Omo. So you have pockets of things here and there like that. It is not your priority. That's why. That's it. So be honest with yourself. You have time for the things that you consider important. I don't know how. Success leave clues. You are not the first. Things have happened on earth before. People have done something close to what you want to achieve. And how did they do it? There are clues. Success leaves steps. Look for, and God will bring people around you like that. Look for them. Don't be too proud. Walk up to them. Comport yourself very well and learn. Read on the internet. Do everything you need to do. Don't accept the fact that you don't know how. Instead, you make yourself a no, you will not take no for an answer person. I will not take no for an answer person. That's how you make yourself. Then you say, hey, what if I fail? But you have not failed. Be fair on yourself. Give yourself the opportunity to even fail. Because the fact that you have failed shows that you have learned. And it is people that learn that achieve things. How many businesses succeeded from day one? Go and check their business owners if they have not had businesses that failed before that. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? Then you don't have what it takes. You are the person God is looking for. That is all the qualification that God needs. You don't believe in yourself. Then you now have to solely believe in God to achieve what it is you want to achieve. From this moment on, remember that if you don't put urgency to anything you have written as an action point here, by tomorrow, you won't want to do it again. Before you sleep tonight, take the action steps. What now? Today, write 3 to 5 things. I'm going to send a screenshot of this one to TA so he can send it. Or let me see, maybe I should just send it right here because in case of people, or if TA doesn't have your email address, I don't know how you want to do it, TA. Maybe you want to take the email address of people who want the screenshots of this, because I really want to just get off now and allow people to ask 1 or 2 questions before we leave. But this really is the action. These are things you should do by your own self. Go and sit in your house now and do it. Right? If you can't copy it, then ask TA, send for send your email address so that they can send this to you. 3 to 5 things that you need to do immediately. For example, do you need to change your habit? Do you need to prioritize your life? Do you need to go and read up? When you were writing, do you need to go and read up about what a vision board is? Do you need to go and find out the things that are most important to you in life right now? Then make them SMART. You don't know what SMART goals are. Do you need to go and read up on smartness? All of those things. Write at least 3 to 5 things that you need to do immediately. You can have up to 5, but tick the one that right now I have to do. Then 2 to 3 habits you need to start and stop. Why? Because habits make us. You are where you are today as a result of the things you did yesterday. If when you were in the university, you didn't attend classes, you won't be a graduate. Even if you didn't attend classes, you must have written exams. I said that because when I was writing my WAEC a second time, when I was retaking, I refused to go to geography class because I didn't like the geography teacher. She was always cursing people and saying negative things, and I was retaking. And sometimes she would just look at me and she say, you are looking out the window and you are retaking. You want to fail again? I just stopped going to her class, but I told myself that I will pass. I read seriously and I passed that exam. I passed that course. So yeah, you may not even have attended classes, but you must have written an exam. You did something. That's why you are where you are today. What you are doing today is the seed you are sowing for your tomorrow. So check the habits that you sincerely need to stop. I tell people that some things that are our permanent enemies, we should know them. Once, even a madman, once you know that you are a madman, you are half healed. One of the major enemies of man is procrastination. Later, I'll do it later. No. What you can do now, do it right away. In fact, there's a place in Proverbs that says that it is a sin for you. What you know you can give your neighbor now to say, come back tomorrow. Do it now. Now. Embrace now more than procrastination, because procrastination is the doctor of excuses, and excuses is the greatest enemy of man. People that have achieved great feats in life, they got there irrespective of what? Irrespective of all life challenges that came their way. Both of their parents died when they were young. They still achieved it. What's your own reason for, if only, according to Steve Covey will say, if only I had this, if only I had done. When are you going to stop that language? So that's a habit you need to stop. 1 year, I told myself that I'm going to remove something from my vocabulary. Until now, when I'm writing a letter, when I write the word try, T-R-Y, I will stop and think again. Try. Instead of trying, do. Because sometimes we use that thing to avoid, to just say, I will try, when we don't want to do something. And then it affects our personal lives. You will tell yourself, this year, as you're writing the goal, I want to make $1 million. No, what you're actually writing is, I will try to make is there silently. So find the habits you need to change. Find the language you need to stop. Find the things you need to stop. I stopped sleeping sleeping in on Saturdays, and my life transformed. So name people. We need people. Name 1 or 2 people that you will be accountable to. Sometimes the reason people fail is because they'll tell themselves, I'm going to do it, and it's only known to you. No, there must be somebody, there must be somebody that is still left that you can count on as an accountability partner. Look for that person. Create a meeting time. Let them know this is serious, and tell them, I made up my mind to change my life this year. I made up my mind that I want to do this. I want to be accountable. These are the things that I have written that I want to achieve. Please help me, remind me. Sometimes I will send you my to-do list. Please check on me. So find somebody accountability that you're going to be accountable to. I met somebody recently in one of these HR groups, and I introduced him to the app that I'm using to read through the Bible in the year. And he started loving it from the first day he downloaded it. He said he loves it so much. We need 30 minutes. Is it? And then he will finish the Bible in the year. I said, yes. By himself, he said, I'm going to be accountable to you. Every morning when he's done reading, he will just come and write to me, good morning, good morning. I've never met him, but he's been accountable. So when you then write out time, when do you plan to reach out to the people you want to be accountable to? This is a model that I put together when I was doing a training during COVID. But what I will focus on, this model, if I sit down and begin to explain it to you, you'll be like, wow. But what I want to focus on for you is, until you change, you have not learned. You have just wasted 2 hours if you don't put action to all the things we have learned here today. You can just keep saying, I learned. And that's what happened to the people who know that vision board is powerful, but did not do vision board. You have not changed. You have not learned. The day you learn is the day you begin to do. But that you're able to say, you can teach it. There are people here who can teach me. That you can teach it, but you are not doing it. You have not learned. Be honest with yourself. Tell yourself the truth. I have not learned to. I really do hope that this has been of help to you. Okay. So that will be all for now. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Coach. We really appreciate you for this wonderful presentation. And we pray that God will continue to replenish you, God will continue to bless you and expand you in all forms. Thank you so much. Alima and Omoye, are you guys there for the question and answer session? So I believe by now we should have questions posted on the platform or in the chat box rather, for those who have questions. Okay. And if you want to speak, you can also raise your hand and we'll ask you to unmute your mic so that you can ask your question directly. Thank you, Coach.
Thank God.
Okay, this person said, thank you, Ma, for the insightful and informative presentation. A high opener for me. Thank you, Naomi. And wow, thank you so much. This is definitely a transformative session. That's from Chidima Eze. Thank you. Amazing presentation from Chizoba. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ma, from Henry. Henry, good to see you. And hope the recording will be shared with us. Yes, we will share the recording. That's Lisa. Can you share the Bible app? Coach, please, do you want to share the Bible app you use?
Yeah, oh, that's fine.
Just type it out.
Okay.
Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge with us. That's Louisa. Thank you so much, Louisa. Eye opener. Thank you. Please, I need the Bible app. Okay, you get it now. I will send you a DM on Instagram ASAP. That is Oladotun Adeogun.
Okay.
Okay, I think Oladotun is from LinkedIn platform.
Is it okay to share my phone number? I find out, I think somebody that I told the Bible app.
Yeah.
One time, the person came and said, which one? So apparently,
okay, yes, please share your WhatsApp number.
So anybody, maybe I can even, let me see.
Please, Ma, talk a little in the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding diagram for us. Okay, somebody is asking that you should expatiate on the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding diagram.
Okay, that diagram. Okay. Okay. Is that okay? Tim Tokpa, is it okay?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so I'll go back there. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
So look at this. If you find out that knowledge is what we gain when we learn something new. Let me put it that way. I want to say it as simply as possible. Knowledge. Or let me do it this way. What's the difference between knowledge, wisdom, and understanding? Who knows what the difference is? You can unmute, please. Please unmute someone. I just want to sample.
Okay, I would say that wisdom is the application of knowledge. Knowledge is more or less like having the information, so you're informed.
Thank you. Thank you. So the doing is within wisdom, meaning that you can know and not be wise. Your wisdom, yes, thank you. One is in the doing, and it is wisdom that is that one. You can know and not do. The example I usually give is that of the smoking doctor. Once the day I had somebody give that example, I was like, oh my God, this guy, you just hit it. And I was giving it in a training. I was training for the president of Lagos Chamber of Commerce a while ago. And I gave that example. And the woman was like, oh, Her father was a medical doctor and he was smoking. He died from smoking. Medical doctor. Does he have knowledge? Yes. Does he know that smoking is dangerous to health? Yes. In fact, does he know which part of the body that smoking affects? I think he knows better than those of us who are not medical students. Does he know what happens to these lungs? He knows all of those things. But why is he smoking? So the difference between knowledge and wisdom is in the doing. Now, when you begin to do, understanding happens to you. You gain understanding. You understand more. The more you do, the more you understand. That's why you know that writing is an action. And that's why the Bible says write. It is as you write, understanding will come to you. Then you have, when you now understand, you still do. You see, between these, you see that knowledge, I put dotted lines in knowledge and it just goes down. Your whole knowledge can be so much, and that's the one that the world sees. Can you see that it's so bold? But the arrow goes down. You can know all of that knowledge and nothing will come out of it if you don't bring your knowledge to the point where you begin to do. But as you start to do, you begin to then increase in understanding up until you get to a place where your eyes will pop open. You now have insight. When they wake you up, you know it. That's when you have insight that cannot be taken away from you. It won't be taken away from you anymore. Because now you are from this point on, it is just upward movement in that area. But you need to go through that place of doing and doing and doing again. As you are doing, you are increasing, you are adding knowledge, you are doing again. That's why you see between wisdom and understanding, can you see that there's a color mix? It's not fully white. There's a color mix. And that color mix is telling you that as you are doing, you are still learning, you are adding knowledge to what you are doing. And then it will get to a place you will now understand, oh, that's your aha moment. And insight comes to you. So that's it. I hope you understand it. So from this day on, if you are not doing, if you have not changed, just be honest with yourself that, yes, I have knowledge of vision board, but I have not learned it. Because the day you learn is the day you change. That's when you can now say, I have learned. How many people today are suffering from experiences that they shouldn't be suffering from? Simply because they first said yes to one wrong man. Then they later said yes to another wrong man. They have said yes to four wrong men in their lives. What's happening? They still don't know how to identify. So the knowledge they gained from the first one, they were not able to apply it. They were not able to apply it. And you continue to, okay, so, I told you that I love football. And one of the reasons I love football is because my son is a footballer. In one of the games they were playing in this season, in the club that he plays for, and I was there, I saw it live. Within the first 8 minutes of that game, the opposing team had scored 3 against them. At that time, my son was on the pitch. Back bench. He was not on the football. He was on the bench. They had not put him on the game yet. But within the first 8 minutes, can you imagine watching a football game? Just as you are recovering from one score, another score is happening. Another score is happening. Do you know what? You see that the way the opposing team scored that game was exactly the same person that scored the same 3 goals, and he scored it using the same thing. It was at that point that my son's coach called the referee and brought him in. He changed the person that was center, that was playing the center back. He changed that person and put my son. My son ordinarily should have been in the left back, But he had to change the person in the center back, because what was happening was the person in the center back for them was not as fast as the attacker that he was working against. So as the attacker is going, before the person in the center back will meet up, the attacker has gone ahead and is looking at himself and the goalkeeper alone. And the goalkeeper is already scared. He just serves it inside until they now change, because the goalkeeper saw that. He saw that this guy was using speed as an advantage against them. And my son has an advantage of speed. He now brought my son, who was supposed to be in the left back. He said, no, I need this guy's speed. He now brought him there. That was the last score that team had in that game, from the moment they brought my son. Why? The guy applied